Rome didn't just kidnap the Sabine women. It kidnapped their rage and buried it under a legend. They told us it was a miracle, a city rising from nothing, a vision of order in a savage world. But Rome didn't begin with stone. It began with a scream. Before the legions, before the eagles, there were only men. And their hunger for women. They threw a festival, invited their neighbors, played music, shared wine. Then, at a signal, they seized the daughters of the Sabines. This wasn't romance. It wasn't destiny. It was mass abduction, and it was Rome's first law. Later, they called it the rape of the Sabine women. Not rape as we know it, but raptus, seizure. A legal term for theft of people. The truth was messy, violent, shameful. So they rewrote it, turned trauma into legend, made victims into peacemakers. For 2,800 years, we've repeated the lie. Because empires don't survive on truth. They survive on myth. This is the story Rome tried to sanctify. We'll tell it as it was. A crime at the heart of a civilization. Every empire ends, but first, it forgets how it began. 753 BCE. The Tiber River bends through marshland. On its hills, 7 villages huddle. Romulus builds a wall, names his city Roma, but something is missing. No women, no families, no future. He sends envoys to neighboring tribes. Our people intermarry. The answer is always no. Rome is a band of outcasts, murderers, runaway slaves, rebels. The Sabines, the Latins, the Etruscans, they see Rome as a den of wolves. Not a city, a threat. Romulus grows desperate. He plans a festival, invites all tribes to the Consualia, a feast for Consus, god of grain and secrets. He builds grandstands, brings in musicians, stocks wine from Etruria. On the day, the hills fill with families. Children laugh, women wear their finest. The air smells of roasted meat and myrrh. Romulus stands at the center. He raises his hand, the signal. Roman men surge forward, not with swords, with hands. They grab daughters, sisters, brides-to-be. Screams pierce the music. Mothers claw at the air. Fathers draw knives, but they are outnumbered. 300 women vanish into the Roman hills. Their families flee. The festival ends in silence. Romulus speaks to the captives. You will be wives, not slaves. Your children will rule this land. But a promise is not consent. The Sabine king, Titus Tatius, swears revenge. War drums echo across the valley. Rome braces for annihilation. Yet in the Roman homes, something unexpected happens. The women soften. They build lives, bear children, not because they forgot, but because they had no choice. Survival is its own kind of surrender. Among them is Hersilia, daughter of a Sabine noble, wife to Romulus himself. She watches her husband build an empire on the backs of stolen women. And she waits. 1 year later, the Sabine army marches on Rome, 5,000 men. Shields locked, spears gleaming. The Romans meet them at the base of the Capitoline Hill. 2 walls of bronze collide. For hours, they fight. Roman ferocity versus Sabine discipline. Neither yields. Then, Hersilia appears, not with a sword, with her children in her arms. Behind her, all 300 Sabine women emerge from the city. Tearing their robes, beating their chests, they run between the armies. Stop, Hersilia cries. If you win, you kill our husbands. If you lose, you kill our fathers. The men freeze. In that silence, humanity returns. Romulus and Tatius sheathe their swords. They merge their cities. Romans and Sabines become one people. History calls this a miracle. But the truth is darker. The women didn't choose peace. They chose survival. And Rome rewarded them with silence. No monument to their courage. No record of their names. Just a story where they saved the day. Livy writes centuries later, the women embraced their captors as husbands. Plutarch adds, they loved their new lives. The trauma is airbrushed, the violence sanitized, the crime becomes a founding myth. Rome needs this story. An empire cannot admit its birth was rape, so it calls it destiny. For 500 years, the tale is told in schools, temples, plays. Always the same. Rome was chosen. The women were grateful. But in the shadows, the truth lingers. In the eyes of mothers teaching daughters, never trust a man who builds a city alone. This is how empires erase their sins. Not by destroying evidence, by rewriting the heart. Today, you can visit the Roman Forum. Walk where the Sabine women stood. Feel nothing, no plaque, no statue, just stone and tourists. We've forgotten them, because remembering would mean admitting. Every great empire begins in blood and denial. Rome wasn't unique. Carthage burned, Alexandria silenced, Portugal vanished, but Rome mastered the art of moral laundering. Turned crime into legend, victim into heroine, thief into founder, and we still do it. We name cities after conquerors, celebrate founders who owned slaves, call exploitation progress. The Sabine women are not just ancient history. They are a mirror. Who do we erase today to build our myths? Hercilia's act of courage, running into battle to stop a war, was real. But her pain, her loss, her voice, gone, because history is written by the victors and polished by their heirs. Yet their silence speaks. In every culture that whitewashes its origins, in every nation that calls conquest manifest destiny. Rome fell, not because of barbarians, but because it forgot its first lesson. You cannot build forever on a lie. The Sabine women knew this. They lived the cost, and they paid it, in silence. We tell ourselves we're wiser now. But we still build festivals and invite the innocent. We still rewrite our crimes as miracles. Every empire ends, some with fire, some with invasion. Rome's began with a scream and ended with a whisper of forgetting. Every empire ends, some just burn brighter on the way down. Welcome to the fallen Citadel.